Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do a first impression let's play review of a game called Fellowship. The developers of the game sent me a code, so today we are going to check it out. I've never played the game, so today we are gonna play the game and I'm just basically going to give you my running commentary as I play through the game. It might take me an hour to reach a conclusion on the game, or it might take 5 hours. It has taken me up to 5 or 6 hours in the past to come to a conclusion on a game, so it is not unheard of for me to take that many hours. But normally I can probably reach a conclusion on a game in the first 2 hours or so. So it really just depends how long it takes, but I will, as always, put timestamps in the description below. So if you are in a hurry and you don't want to watch the full 2 hours or whatever of the video, then you can simply skip to the last 10 minutes or so of the video. Like I say, I will put a timestamp in the description below if you only want to hear my quick, concise, final opinion on the game, basically my verdict on the game. And in the last 10 minutes or so of the video, I will tell you my recommendation or not my recommendation on the game. The game is $25. It is a MMORPG, so it is basically like World of Warcraft. I actually do enjoy World of Warcraft. I have played World of Warcraft. I actually haven't played it in a long time. I probably haven't played it in 6 or 7 years, basically. So I haven't played it in a long time, but I probably over the past many years since the game has released, I've probably clocked over 3,000 hours in World of Warcraft. So I do like the game. I do like World of Warcraft. So we will see if this game can get my recommendation today. Like I say, I'm just judging from the screenshots of the game on Steam, and it looks a lot like World of Warcraft. So I might be wrong, but it looks like World of Warcraft. So yeah, in any way, we're going to be checking out the game today, and I'm going to be giving you my running commentary as I play through the game today. And I'm going to be telling you what I think is good and bad about the game as I play through the game today. And yeah, basically, I'm not sure how long it will take. It really depends how long it takes for me to come to a conclusion on the game. So we are also live streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you're watching on Twitch, you can check out the VOD for the game at a higher quality actually on YouTube, because I stream to Twitch at 6K kilobytes per second, and on YouTube I'm streaming at 20K kilobytes per second. So the quality on YouTube is so much better. So anyway, I had a very quick look at the settings. The settings look fine. We're running the game at 2K resolution. Everything on Epic. I don't know. We might scale a couple of these things down just a little bit. Just to be safe, since I'm also obviously streaming the game. So we will see. Let's put everything on high and then view distance on Epic. And then we're running the game on native 2K resolution. There's no super sampling or downscaling or anything like that. So anyway, with that being said, let's jump into the game. I've seen a lot of people just from quickly looking at the Steam reviews, I've seen a lot of people complaining about the queue. The game apparently has a queue. So I wonder if I don't think the what do you call it? The servers for the game are very good, to be honest, because I've seen a lot of people complaining that they are stuck in long waiting queues. Like, I've seen waiting queues where people are like number 9,000 in the queue, you know, so they are 9,000 positions behind actually being able to log in, and I think that's really crazy, you know. So in any way, so you can select your class right at the beginning. They offered us a tutorial at the beginning, but I'm not going to do the tutorial, to be honest. I think we should be able to figure out the game on our own. So there's a tank, then there's another tank, but is it like a different class or what? Where do you see the abilities? Okay, so you can't see the abilities at all. Okay, that's really stupid. So you can't see abilities. So damage. So this one looks like a rogue. And this one looks like a spellcaster. But they don't show you any abilities. So, like, normally, like even in World of Warcraft, they show you some abilities. They give you a general overview of the class. You know, you can see what abilities the class can do. But yeah, they don't do anything like that. That's really fucking stupid. How are you supposed to make any choice? Like, what are you supposed to base your choices on? I think that's really, really stupid. Also, why is there every time pop-in? Why is there pop-in every time? Like, the textures are loaded, and then you go away, and then you go back, and then the textures aren't loaded anymore. Why is that? That's some really bad game optimization there. Why are the textures unloaded? That's really stupid. By the way, these developers, the developers behind this game, unfortunately, don't have a good reputation. I had a look at their Steam history because I recognized the name of these developers, Arc Games. I recognized them, and usually when I recognize a developer, it's not a good thing. So they actually have a history of doing some bad games, and they're also canceling some games. So recently, in the past month or so, this developer Arc Games cancelled Hyper Light Breaker, which was only released in January. So basically 9 months ago, they released the game into early access, and now in September they cancelled the game. So the game is not released yet. Basically, all of the people who spent money on the game will now obviously not get a completed game, you know, which obviously really sucks, you know. Like, if you look over here, this is the game, Hyper Light Breaker. I've seen a little bit like of people playing the game on Twitch and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like my type of game because it's rogue light. They actually say rogue-like over here, but obviously this game is nothing like rogue. So that's a misnomer. It's a wrong categorization. The game is actually a rogue light. And I don't like games that are rogue light. And yeah, like, they just cancelled the game. The game's never going to be finished. So Arc Games, unfortunately, don't have a good history. And then also they created Torchlight 3, which is a really, really bad game. So yeah, unfortunately this developer doesn't have a good reputation. So you should definitely take that into consideration when you are thinking about supporting this developer or not. You know, they don't have a good reputation, unfortunately. But I guess that's neither here or there. We are just going to evaluate the game as it is, you know. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day about their history. We are just going to evaluate this game at the price point of $25, and we're going to evaluate whether or not it is worth $25. So in any way, I like healers. In World of Warcraft, I've played all of the classes. I've played tanks, I've played damage dealers, I've played healers. But I do like the healer class in general. I do like it. Now, it would be nice if we could see some abilities, but yeah, the developers don't give you any information about the class, I guess. So, yeah, unfortunately, you can't really see any information about the healers. Well, about any of the classes, to be honest. Let's take this one just because I would like to see a example of what all of these classes are able to do. But yeah, you can't do that in the game for some fucking reason. So I guess if you want some information about these classes, you're just gonna have to play them. You know, you just have to select them and play them. There's no way to see any information about any of the classes otherwise. You just have to play them, which is really shitty. But anyway, so let's choose this one. I also see that the classes are gender locked. So unlike in World of Warcraft, where you can select the gender of your class, in this game, they are simply gender locked. Okay, so we just hit 100% GPU usage there for about 20 seconds, which is not good. But it went down now, so I'm assuming the game just loaded some textures and stuff like that there. But yeah, it's not good that the game just goes to 100% GPU usage. Game should basically never go to 100% GPU usage, because when that happens, then the game can not render properly, you know, especially when you're streaming. The game basically takes over the processing which would be used for streaming, and then your stream can actually crash. But anyway, I think the textures are loaded now. Okay, so I guess we use WAS and D to move. So forward, backward, left and right, WAS and D. And then I guess we use the right click button to move the camera. Oh, there's a lot of stuttering. That's a really bad stuttering. Look at that. Not just stuttering, actual freezing. Okay, let's reduce the quality a little bit. It's sad that the game isn't able to run at 2K resolution. It's not able to maintain 60 FPS. Let's drop that down a little bit. Drop that, drop that. Drop that, and then have a look. Maybe it will be a little bit better then. Yeah, that's a little bit less stuttery, to be honest. Yeah, that seems better. Okay, well, we can try it like this, I guess. Okay, so do we have quests? Like, I don't see any quests, really. I mean, we skipped the tutorial, but we should still get quests. Like, where's the intro quest? First quest in the game that gives you an introduction into the game. Where's that? Mission table. Access the game finder. I don't want to do game finder. Mirror of illusions. Change your ensembles. No, thank you. I don't want to do customization. Access hero and dungeon leaderboard. No, thank you. Stash. Scrapper. I just took damage. Why did I just take damage? Upgrade weapons. D-socket gems. Access your collection of mounts. Do we have a mount? Complete a dungeon. Okay. So we have to complete a dungeon. So how do you do that? So those are vendors. Like, how do you go into a dungeon? So, is this how you go into a dungeon? Because I thought that the game would be open world. Was I mistaken in thinking that the game is open world? What happens if we jump down here? Okay. So there's invisible wall there. So the game might not actually be open world. I was just assuming that it would be open world, but apparently not. That is surprising. Game really stutters quite a bit. Okay, well, if the game isn't open world, then I guess you have to use the game finder. Okay, find game, I guess. What's all of this? Eternal. Challenge. What's all of my abilities? Prickly Vine, summons a Prickly Vine for 27 seconds. Okay, we get pulled into a game without even having to click accept. Normally I would expect to have to first click accept or whatever, but okay, apparently not. Wow, there's a lot of stuttering. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that these are the healing spells. So that's a damaging spell. That's a healing spell. That's a healing spell. Can you loot anything? I have no idea how to loot or anything like that. Okay, here's a boss.
Others will come.
Blood, steel, no mercy!
This is gonna hurt! Fire! Protect me!
I don't even see a threat indicator or anything like that. Normally in an MMO, like Final Fantasy or any of those types of MMOs, you would see a threat indicator. I don't see a threat indicator anywhere. I also don't know what any of these things over here are, like these little heart type things. I have no idea.
Fires protect me.
Offense is the greatest defense!
There will be others.
So you don't actually get any loot from the boss himself, you get a chest. That's a little bit disappointing, to be honest. The cool thing always about World of Warcraft was that you can get loot. Like, instead of just getting a fucking chest at the end, you get loot throughout the dungeon, you know? So it feels a little bit disappointing only getting a single chest. But okay. So how do we leave? Okay, over there, I guess. Okay, and was that literally it? Because that was really underwhelming. How do I open my inventory? Rewards, what's this? Why do you even need to click on this? Why isn't it automatically unlocked? That doesn't make any sense. You literally just have to click on this because they don't click on it for you. So this doesn't even consume any points or anything, you just have to click on it. That's really stupid. Hero ability. Call upon flutterflies to protect up to 4 players by evenly distributing all health between them every 2 seconds over 10 seconds. Upon arriving, the flutterflies cause 6 prickly veins to spontaneously spawn near you. When you activate your spirit ability, you gain Spirit of Heroism, granting haste and mana recovery. Okay. We can mount now. How do you mount? Z? Unlocked in Rewards, then equipped at the stables. Okay, why is it not automatically equipped? Why do you force the player to run over to the stables? Okay, so you can purchase all of the mounts with supplies, and then some of them you can purchase with gold. I have 0 gold right now, so I wonder if gold is a premium currency or something like that. I don't know. By the way, why do I have 56,000 HP? Why did they choose to give the player that much HP from the very beginning? That seems really crazy. Like, does the game have dexterity or intellect or anything like that maybe? And the game doesn't have experience, it seems. Like, there's passives over here, and you get it from gems. Topaz gem, emerald gem, sapphire gem. But where do you get the gems? And then talents, I don't know how to unlock this. So currently I have 4 supplies and 2 Mark of Fellowship. No idea what that is. So how do you get gear, for instance? Because right now my item score is 0.4. And I obviously have white gear. So how do you get new gear? There's vendors over here, but since you don't get any gear from the actual dungeons, I'm wondering, how do you get gear? Okay, so these are cosmetics. Ah, this is equipment, okay. Starter helm. So I can purchase 2 right now if I want to. So a helmet, I don't have a helmet right now, so I guess we can buy a helmet. But it's just a white item, it's not even... Like, if I want a green item, I have to pay 11. That means I'm gonna have to do 3 dungeons just to afford a single helmet. If that is the going rate, then that's really, really bad, you know? Like, if you think about World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy Online or anything like that, which I have played all of those games, then in every dungeon you get 3 or 4 or 5 pieces of gear, you know, from the different bosses. In this game, it seems like you're going to have to do 3 dungeons just to get a green helmet. And then obviously another 3 to get the green polders, 2 to get the green thing. So basically, if you want a full set of green gear, you're looking at probably maybe 15 to 20 dungeons that you're gonna have to do. That's really rough. Like, that's really, really rough. If this is the only way to get gear, which it looks like it, because I mean, we just did a dungeon and the dungeon didn't give us any gear. So I'm just assuming that's how it works. I have no gems yet. I don't know where you get gems. Each weapon has a series of traits that infuse it with incredible power. Each row of traits is a heroic defensive master. Okay, so my current weapon, where's my current weapon? I don't even have a weapon right now. I'm playing without a weapon. How the hell does that work? Okay, so I have to get a weapon first, I guess. Like, I did that first dungeon without even understanding my skills. So this one summons a little vine, even though I can't even do it. You have to have a target, which is fucking stupid. Then Nettle Bolt is like a green just attack type thing. Let's see if I can maybe stand over here. There, so you summon a bolt, a vine, and the vine automatically attacks people around you. For each prickly vine you have active, all fluttering healing is increased by 3. Oh, you're actually attacking me. Okay. And then you have this Nettle Bolt attack. Replenishes the mana cost it spends once it deals damage. The cooldown on Life Petal is reduced by 1.5 each time you deal damage with Nettle Bolt. So where's Life Petal? Life Petal. Oh, that's Life Petal. So a Life Petal sprouts up near you, healing one ally every 2 seconds for 14 seconds, preferring the ally with the lowest health. Life Petal's healing wanes over time, healing for less the longer it has been active. Life Petal spawns 2 bloom shrooms when it withers. What the fuck is a bloom shroom? Commands all mature bloom shrooms to attack, causing them to leap at the target, enemy, and explode. Each time one of your plants expire, budding bloom shroom starts to grow. After 3 seconds, the bloom shroom has reached full maturity and is ready to be called into action. Okay. Interesting. So basically, this class has 2 attack abilities and then 2 healing abilities. And then this one increases healing. This one does healing. This one is the bloom shroom attack thing. And then this one removes harmful effects. So that's basically in the entire class. And then this is a special ability, which basically just makes your entire party less likely to die, basically, more or less. Okay, so relatively basic, although you do get more abilities later on. Okay, jeweler, upgrade. How much does it cost to maybe make a green item? Let's see. So if I want to make my gloves green, for instance. Okay, apparently I can't even upgrade it. For whatever reason. Okay. So I guess we just jump into another dungeon. I mean, there's not really anything else to do. Swap heroes. Now, why would I want to swap a hero? I'm trying to learn the healing class. Okay, let's do another dungeon, I guess. I don't know if it will be the same dungeon, but I guess let's see. Wow, that was quick. Wow, that's a lot of lag. But do these actually give gold? Oh, you have to be standing still in order to mount. That's stupid.
My shield will not break. Hold me back!
Wow, that guy died quickly.
Gaze upon eternity.
Okay, I'm dead. How do you respawn? Oh, you can't respawn during a boss fight. That's a really stupid boss fight, because you fall in there, then the entire party is on half HP. I don't know if the tank should have waited before pulling the boss, if you even have that option, or if that's simply how the boss fight is, you know. It's possible that that's simply how the boss fight is. Okay, well, that was the dungeon apparently. Very fast. That's a very, very fast dungeon. Much faster than the previous one. Like, obviously, I would want to rather redo that dungeon instead of the other dungeon that we did previously, because that other dungeon that we did previously took at least twice as long as that dungeon that we just did. So how do you even see your inventory? Okay, you have unspent talent points, so how do I spend it? I have to figure this shit out on my own, apparently. Each time you deal damage with Nettle Bolt, your life petal triggers an additional tick of its healing. Hold down Flutter Call, heal for 2 seconds to overcharge it, causing the ability to be cast on up to 4 allies. The mana cost is increased. Hold down the relevant button until cast bar is displayed. Once the cast has completed, the overcharged version of the ability will trigger. The initial heal of your Flutter Call restore life has 50% increased critical strike chance. Flutter Call restore life. So it's that one. Yeah, I think this one is better. So it seems the game doesn't have a leveling system at all. You don't get experience at all. Literally, the entire game's progression is through this thing. So basically, like time, Cinderfall in Contender League to unlock account wide. Fuck knows what that means. Complete 3 dungeons. Complete 4 dungeons. Complete 5. Complete 6. Like all the way up to complete 16 dungeons. That's the entire game's progression, it seems like. Equip an average item level of 5 or more. Starting equipment can be purchased for supplies in the stronghold. In the stronghold. So is this the stronghold? Or where's the stronghold actually? Oh yes, this is a stronghold, okay. So that's fine. So yeah, it seems that literally the only way to acquire new gear is by purchasing it from this guy. That's literally the only way to get gear, it seems, in the game. Which is really sad. It really, really destroys the character progression fantasy that you get in a game like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or really any of those types of MMOs, you know. You don't get any gear from bosses, you know, like if you think about World of Warcraft, if you've played World of Warcraft, like there's certain bosses where you get like their weapon, for instance, like in Northrend from the Lich King, you can get Shadowmourne, and that's like a very iconic weapon. And obviously that's just one example. There's many other examples where you fight a spider in a dungeon, a big spider, then you get a spider fang, like it's a special weapon, a themed weapon from that boss, you know. Or you fight a rogue in the Deadwind mines, then you get that boss rogue's dagger, for instance. And in this game, there's nothing like that. There's no weapon fantasy, there's no gear fantasy. Like, you can't get any of the armor from bosses, you can't get any of the weapons from bosses, nothing like that, because all of the gear in the game is purchased. So, I don't know, it just feels very bland. Really, really bland. And how do I select a dungeon? Like, I want to do that dungeon that we literally just did. How do I tell the game that I want to do a specific dungeon instead of just doing a fucking random dungeon? I don't want to just do random dungeons all the time. That's really stupid. The game does have mana, apparently, but I have no idea how much mana I even have.
Is this the best you can do?
My ward shields me.
Is this supposed to hurt?
Please don't let them fall.
How the hell did I die? Okay. Apparently you respawn all the way back at the start. That's fantastic. I've no idea how I just, like, died. I was, like, at half HP, basically.
Bear witness to winter's wrath. Delivers my wrath.
Heed my call!
It also feels really, really bland getting the exact same reward each and every time from the dungeon with zero variation. Conjure a heart bloom at your side that restores 15% of all fluttering healing you do inside it. Every 3 seconds, the heart bloom releases a pulse healing allies for an amount equal to the healing it has stored. Okay. Don't really understand that, but it's basically like a emergency healing ability. So why can't I purchase this? I have enough to purchase this one. It requires 11 supplies, and I have 12 supplies right now. So why can't I purchase it? I can purchase these, but I can't purchase these. Why? What's the reasoning? Please explain.
Frost, protect me!
Traded for merchant deliveries containing valuable materials in the stronghold. Merchant deliveries. Where do you get that? Merchant deliveries. Oh, it's from this one. Okay. Okay, so all of these contain exactly the same thing. Unstable ingot, unstable aether, defender's godstone. Unstable ingot, unstable aether, defender's godstone. All of these contain exactly the same thing, so why can you purchase 5 of them? That doesn't make any sense. And then here, why can't I purchase the thing that I can literally afford right now? I can afford all of these, in fact, except the chest. Why can't I purchase it? So fucking stupid. So let's purchase the cloak, I guess. Okay. And then what does that help me? I still can't purchase any of these. It would be super fantastic if you gave me some fucking tooltip or anything. Seriously. Also, a weapon. Will the weapon actually increase my healing, or will it not increase my healing? Because I don't want to buy something if it's not going to increase my healing. But okay, let's see. Weapon, I guess. Stamina, intellect, expertise, and spirit. Expertise, spirit increases healing. Spirit increases all sorts of spirit points you gain to charge up your spirit ability. Spirit provides a chance to refund any mana spent when using abilities. Okay. What gives me the most benefit in healing? I'm not sure. Maybe expertise? Okay. I still can't purchase any of the green stuff. So I'm just basically buying fucking anything. Okay, I still don't understand the gear system, but okay. Also, there's a glitch over here that this thing has been on my screen for the past 5 minutes. Okay, let's try another one, I guess. I really don't like the fact that the dungeons are just random. Really takes a lot of fun out of the game, in my opinion. Because you're basically now hoping that you're not gonna get one of the longer dungeons, and you hope you're gonna get the shorter dungeons. Also, the game is really stuttery. Really, really stuttery.
Twin souls, untethered.
What the hell is damaging me like that? I'm taking more damage than the freaking tank is taking damage.
Twin souls unleashed. Earth endures as winds enact vengeance.
The stuff in this dungeon does a lot of damage.
Thy wrath!
Okay, what the hell was that ability? How are you supposed to counter that? My character just automatically started running and jumping off. Yeah, losing 2 party members just like that is difficult to overcome.
Stone anchors me, and wind delivers my wrath. Twin souls.
This guy might actually solo the boss. Apparently tanks are so powerful they're able to basically solo bosses. How much would it have sucked if he died? You can interact with this thing, but I don't see it being able to do anything. I'm clicking, but nothing is happening. So I don't know what that is. Anyway. So stupid that you have to click on all of this every time. There's literally no reason that you have to click on it. The game could click on it for you. Once again, we have a bug over here where the skill description doesn't want to go away at all. Okay, so I've got all of the missing gear parts now with these ones. Now I just need to replace this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I really don't understand this gear system, and I don't like it. It's not a good gear system. I do not understand why the developers would have chosen to make every dungeon give exactly the same reward, and you have to then buy random gear. All of these are random, so the rewards that you get on them will be random. You can't purchase green gear, so you can't save up and get green gear. Like I had 12 supplies, which is enough to buy basically any of these, and yet I couldn't buy it. I don't understand why I couldn't buy it, but I couldn't buy it. So not only is the gear system just really, really bland, you are also seemingly artificially prohibited, I guess I can say, from saving up to get better gear. So I would much rather buy like a green piece every couple of dungeons instead of buying white items and then having to replace the white items with green items later. And that's what the developers are forcing you to do. They're forcing you to buy expendable gear in order to upgrade, and then this gear becomes expendable and then forcing you to upgrade. It's just really, really stupid, and it adds unnecessary grinding to the game because you have to throw away a lot of your gear repeatedly. And it also is really terrible for just freedom. It just limits the freedom of different play styles, you know. If I want to suffer by not having a couple of gear pieces for a while and then getting a really good gear piece after 3 or 4 or 5 dungeons that I've saved up my currency, then you should allow me to do that. You shouldn't block the player from saving up resources in order to buy what they want to. That's just really fucking stupid. It's a really, really idiotic way of designing the game, honestly. I don't like the fact that the dungeons are random. Each and every dungeon is random. The fact that you can't see what the different classes do. So you have to play a class. You literally have to now like either create a new character or switch to a different class in order to see what that class can do. So instead of just adding a small amount of information like the different abilities, like World of Warcraft does this actually. They show you the different abilities, the basic abilities which the class can have at the beginning. and then they give you like a video or something like that to give you a small taste of the play style of the class, you know. This game doesn't do any of that. This game literally doesn't provide you with any information whatsoever. So now if I swap to another class, like this one, then all of my gear is gone. So now I have to farm completely new gear on this character, and I have to farm completely new dungeons over here as well, which is really, really idiotic. So yeah, that's just really, really stupid. Apart from that, the game isn't open world, which sucks. I was hoping the game would be open world, like many, in fact, most MMORPGs are open world, you know, like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft or Neverwinter or any of those types of games. This game, unfortunately, isn't open world. The game also doesn't run particularly well. I'm running the game at 2K resolution right now. And you can see my settings are high, high, medium, medium, high, medium, high. And yet I often cannot get 60 FPS. I've been looking at my GPU usage, and routinely it hits 100% GPU usage, which means that the game at that point isn't able to maintain 60 FPS. So the performance leaves a lot to be desired. Obviously, I have a very good PC. It's a RTX 5080 and Ryzen 5 5700 X3D with 64 gig of RAM. So I've got a very good PC, and yet my PC isn't able to sometimes maintain 60 FPS in the game at 2K resolution. So if you have anything weaker than my current PC, which you probably have, then you're not going to be able to play the game at 2K resolution at 60 FPS. So the performance is not good at all. Yeah, I don't know. It's just honestly not a game that I would ever come close to recommending over a game like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or anything like that. Basically any MMO, any paid MMO, because there's obviously a big difference between the paid MMOs and the free MMOs. The free MMOs overall are really shitty. They are predatory with their monetization, like Genshin Impact, for instance, even though you can't really call Genshin Impact an MMORPG, even though it has a lot of the same things that most MMORPGs do have, like World of Warcraft, for instance. So I would stay away from Genshin Impact or any of those types of MMORPGs. But if you compare this game, which costs $25, to a game like World of Warcraft, which costs, I think, how much is it? $40 for an expansion. And basically, if you buy an expansion, if you buy the latest expansion, then you basically have the full game, obviously, until the next expansion releases, and then you can choose to buy that next expansion. And then obviously on top of the base cost of World of Warcraft, you also need to buy a monthly subscription, which some people will argue that you don't need to do that because you can actually earn the monthly subscription in gold by playing the game, but you have to play the game quite a lot in order to do that. So I wouldn't even get into that argument, you know. So basically, World of Warcraft and actually Final Fantasy as well. Both are subscription based with a base price of I think $40 or something like that. This game isn't subscription based, but it costs $25. But quite honestly, I wouldn't recommend this game for $25. Honestly, I'm not seeing $25 worth of content here. The game is really cobbled together. A lot of things just are not meshing very well, honestly. I don't like the progression system. I really don't like the gear system. I don't like the fact that you don't have experience in the game at all. There doesn't seem to be a trading system in the game at all. I don't see an auction house or anything like that at all in the game anywhere. The game has DLCs, like cosmetic purchases on top of the $25 purchase price. During combat, like, it's not very clear what's actually happening, to be honest. Like in World of Warcraft and even Final Fantasy, even though Final Fantasy doesn't have the amount of information display that World of Warcraft does, but in World of Warcraft you understand what's going on. Your debuffs on your character you can see very easily, very clearly. There's a warning if you have a debuff in many instances. In this game, like, we died like twice and I don't know what killed us. I've no fucking idea. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see, like, okay, there's something, move away from it. That kind of thing that you would expect in an MMORPG. You know, nothing like that. So the game really needs to do a lot with regards to the information that you're provided. The overall dungeon experience is not good. You're not easily able to see, okay, that minion is a damage dealer, that minion is a tank, that minion is a healer, that minion summons other minions or buffs other minions. Like, you're not able to see that easily or at all, honestly. So yeah, like, honestly, I don't find the game fun right now in its current iteration. Obviously, the game is still in early access, but I'm not finding the game fun at all. It's just right now not at all a game that I would play. Never mind the fact that the game costs $25. Even if the game was free, it's not a game that I would play. It's not a game that I would sit down and decide, okay, I'm gonna play 5 hours of Fellowship right now. Even if I had friends to play the game with, like, there's obviously a difference between playing with friends in a party and playing with randoms. Even if I had friends to play the game with, I wouldn't find the game enjoyable. It's really not the type of game that I would play with friends for 5 or 6 or 7 hours, you know. But World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or anything like that, absolutely. Like, absolutely. Those are games that I would play with friends. So yeah, quite honestly, I'm not impressed with the game at all, and the game does a lot of things just plain badly, like the experience system, the gear purchasing system, the dungeon system. And those are, like, I mean, the dungeon system is the main part of the game. The game has no open world system. So if the dungeon system sucks balls, then you're left with a game that doesn't have any benefits, any any pros that you can point to that could possibly make it a good game, you know. So yeah, honestly, the game just recently released, like in the past, I don't know, month or so, released. So the game is still in early access. The game can certainly still improve. But right now, based on what the game offers currently, I can't recommend this game at all. And never mind for $25. Like if this game was free, I wouldn't play it. But with the game costing $25, I really wouldn't play it. Like seriously. Honestly, like I said, a game like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy Online, it will give you a lot more enjoyment. And sure, those games cost money, more money than this game does. But like I say, I wouldn't play this game even if it was free. So yeah, that's how much of a step down this game is compared to the other games that this game is attempting to emulate. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my opinion on the game. I will keep an eye on the game. You know, I might check the game out in a year or so, maybe. I don't know how long the developers are planning to develop the game still, how much they are planning to add to the game. So I will keep an eye on the game and I will check the game out again in the future. But yeah, right now there's no way how I can recommend this game at all. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the developer sent me a code for the game, so thanks to them for doing that. I really wouldn't have checked out the game otherwise, even though like I say, I have several thousand hours in World of Warcraft, and even Final Fantasy Online I've played several hundred hours. So this game is definitely a type of game that would appeal to me. But yeah, it's not the type of game that I would have checked out. I just had a look at the screenshots and the gameplay, and I could see that something doesn't exactly look right. You know, you can see if a game is like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or anything like that. This game is attempting to be like that with the dungeons, but they're leaving out everything else. You know, World of Warcraft, the thing that makes World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy fun isn't just the dungeons. You know, there are many people, like a large proportion of the player base of World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy and basically any MMORPG that I'm certain will never enter a dungeon. You can literally play from level 1 to level 80 in World of Warcraft and never enter a dungeon. You can just always do open world content, do quests, like literally never enter a dungeon. And I think that is what these developers don't realize. They're trying to emulate the dungeon mechanic or the dungeon part of the game of World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy, but that's not the reason why I think those types of games appeal to a lot of players. I myself do prefer open world content. I also do PvP in World of Warcraft, and I also do dungeons, and I also do open world content, and I also do quests and whatever else there is to do. Like I'm a all-rounder type player when it comes to World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. And there's people who only do PvP, there's people who only do dungeons or heroics or raids in World of Warcraft. There's people who only do a specific type of thing. There's fucking people who only do fashion or fishing in those types of games, you know. But yeah, these developers are trying to dilute and remove only the dungeon part of an MMORPG and they didn't do a good job. That's point number one. They didn't do a good job. And point number two is that that's not the reason why a lot of people play those types of games. So yeah, in any way, like I say, I will check the game out again in a year or so, or whenever I see that the game is releasing, then I will do a full review of the game. So obviously now I did a full review of the game, but it's the early access version of the game, so things are obviously going to change in the future, but I will do a full review, a full version review of the game in the future when the game releases as well, just to see if they've been able to improve anything and to see if they've been able to, in my opinion at least, make the game worth $25, because right now it is absolutely not worth $25. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. That's my review for the game. As always, if you want to support the channel, if you want to allow me and enable me to purchase more games for you guys to do reviews for, then your support on patreon.com/LFP would be very much appreciated. I wouldn't be able to review many of the games that I do review on my channel if it weren't for the support that I receive from my Patreon members. So games are just getting more and more expensive always. And yeah, like I say, I wouldn't be able to afford even half of the games that I do if it weren't for my Patreon supporters. So if you want to see more reviews, then that is the best way to allow me and enable me to do more reviews for you guys. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I will be doing a review of The Outer Worlds 2 tonight because it's releasing in about 8 hours. So I will be doing a review of that game later tonight. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.